Hey, what's up, Plus Ultra fam? It's me, Plus Ultraman, and today I'm extremely excited to be starting my first Naruto What If here on the channel. So, jumping right in on this one, we're going to make two small changes to the timeline. Number one, Kakashi at some point after receiving his Sharingan implant was able to copy the mystical palm jutsu. And number two, Naruto can't help but develop respect for Zabuza. This timeline diverges here after the defeat of Gato's men, while Naruto and Kakashi watch Zabuza lay next to Haku while he says his goodbye. Here's where our changes come into play. Naruto, with tears in his eyes, looks to his sensei and pleads, asking if there was really nothing they could do because Zabuza wasn't all that bad. They had to at least try to save him. Kakashi does consider this, as Zabuza's goodness could be sensed by him himself. So, right before Zabuza was about to pass on, Kakashi kneels down next to him and begins to use the healing technique, somewhat convinced it wouldn't help, but knowing it would make Naruto feel better at least. He's however shocked when Zabuza coughs up a bit of blood and his breathing soon becomes steady and at a stable pace. With his eyes still wide, he looks to Naruto, who had been watching closely, and softly says that he'll live, while inwardly sweat dropping, thinking that this guy really was a demon. Naruto grins at this, and the group wait for the bridge to be finished being built by Tasuno, which took about another week. During that time, nothing happens but Zabuza and Team 7 rest in Tasuno's house. At the moment, Zabuza isn't even willing to stay conscious for too long, but when he is, he finds Naruto and Kakashi in his room and is able to conversate with them, asking why they'd save him. Kakashi reveals all the things that Naruto had thought and said, and this surprises Zabuza. He is by no means happy with the situation, especially since he's lost Haku, but he realized that he has a second chance. Not only that, he has a new ambition. He's going to live a life that Haku would be proud of. When the bridge was finally built, the group set out, Naruto being really eager to create 3 shadow clones and transform one into a gurney to carry Zabuza on, as he was well enough to stay awake, but still very hurt and could not walk. The real Naruto wanted to impress Zabuza and volunteered to carry the Executioner's blade, and as such was about 30 feet behind the group at all times, lugging a huge iron blade behind him. During the journey, I think Zabuza starts to develop a bit of an affection towards Naruto. I wouldn't say that he feels the same towards Naruto that he felt about Haku, but he's starting to develop those types of feelings. In a way, Naruto is starting to fill the void that Haku has left for him. They reach the village around the same time, and instantly Zabuza is carted off to be interrogated by Ibiki. And right after this, everything that happened in the original timeline realigns for a bit, with Team 7 signing up for the tuning exams, the testing, the Force of Death, and the preliminary rounds. During this time, Zabuza is interrogated and gives the lead very valuable information, making him an actual asset to the village. He's finally deemed to be non-threatening, and even asked the Hokage himself to be declared a Leaf Ninja, which I think he would allow. The third was a very nice man, not to mention I feel like Kakashi could deliver a testimony. Plus, Zabuza is one of the 7 swordsmen, so he would be a pretty good asset. Zabuza now receives much better healing, and let's say that he's back to about 80% by the time the 1 month of training is allotted to the contestants. Now the timeline diverges again, because when Kakashi introduces Naruto to his sensei, Naruto is ecstatic to see Zabuza in a brand new Leaf Village headband and Leaf Jonin attire. Zabuza, however, wipes his smile away by roaring at Naruto that the next month would be utter hell. Now, Kakashi would have already briefed Zabuza on what Naruto needed to do during his month. Number 1, his basics had to be drastically improved. And number 2, Zabuza had to train him alongside someone else, which Zabuza would have no problem with, especially when he's told there's going to be one of the Sannin. So, Zabuza takes Naruto to the same river that he and Jiraiya trained by and shows him the water walking technique before ordering him to do it himself. Like in the original timeline, Naruto messes up a few times but begins to slowly get it, and Zabuza stops him and says let's ramp this up. So in this timeline, when Jiraiya first appears, he finds Naruto practicing his water walking while trying to hold the Executioner's blade, all while Zabuza yells insults and curses at him while chucking rocks. The Toad Sage, seeing this, bursts into laughter at the sight and is greeted by Zabuza with a bit more respect than you would expect from him. He's then introduced to Naruto in a pretty professional manner. Though, through discussion of the Sage's hobbies and his book series, it still lands him the nickname of Pervy Sage, which isn't much better than the nickname of Nobrow Sensei that Naruto has for Zabuza. Now, Jiraiya still notices that Naruto has the 5-pronged seal on him and releases it, which allows Naruto to easier water walk, and after this, Zabuza hands the training over to Jiraiya. The Sannin gives Naruto the contract and has him sign it before teaching him the technique, but when Naruto gets mad about only being able to summon a very small tadpole, Zabuza thinks quick and yells out to him, saying that the other brat that Kakashi was going to train could probably summon a huge toad and water walk perfectly. Now this pisses Naruto off, but more importantly, it lights a fire under him. It motivates him, and Jiraiya takes note of this. Zabuza then says that he bets that Naruto couldn't master all this in a month, and Naruto takes that bet, saying that if he could, Zabuza has to give him the Executioner's blade, but Zabuza doesn't really agree to this. So Naruto's training for the month consists of water walking while swinging the Executioner's blade around, to both increase his chakra control and his physical strength. He also gets in a bit of sparring with Zabuza to improve his taijutsu. After doing all this to use up his normal chakra, he then began practicing his summoning. Now, because Naruto is even more motivated in this timeline, and by Zabuza, who he really respects and values the opinion of, I'm going to say that he's able to summon Gamabutsu quicker. Let's say by maybe a week, and the entire thing with that happens, but notably, Naruto has a way easier time hanging on to the Massive Toad, as he's much physically stronger. Now with summoning officially mastered, Naruto confidently saunters up to Zabuza and asks for the sword, which Zabuza refuses to give, but decides since Naruto had worked so hard, he would teach him a new jutsu. Now with this, I had a really cool thought of what I could do to illustrate the levels of characters in my Naruto what ifs, and I found the official character stats from the character guidebooks, authored by Kishimoto Sensei himself. So on screen now are Naruto's stats around the time of the Chunin exam finals, or around chapter 100, where the finals of the Chunin exams take place. To the right are his stats after training with Zabuza and Jiraiya. Keep in mind that this is without the use of his Nine-Tails chakra. Also, if there were a chakra control section, Naruto could probably be considered around a 1.5 or so before the training, but afterwards, I'd put him at a 3 definitely. So back to the story, with the fights other than Naruto and Neji's, they all go exactly the same. The biggest difference being that I think Kakashi, being curious as to how Zabuza's training went, would be incentivized to show up a lot early, and probably forces Sasuke to come with him. So I imagine he, Zabuza, and Sasuke would all be sitting in the stands next to each other. Now, when Naruto and Neji face off, I think that Naruto would be a lot less hasty to use his shadow clones, wanting to test out how much he'd improve through sparring with Zabuza. Unfortunately, this is still Neji, so he gets utterly decimated in hand-to-hand combat. The problem for Neji, though, is that this Naruto is so fast that he's actually forced to use rotation on the regular Naruto. And very early on in the fight, and even then, he's shocked to feel how strong Naruto is, naturally, even with his chakra points closed off. So in this timeline, when Neji hits Naruto with the 64 palms, Naruto has an incredibly easy time forcing his chakra points back open with the Nine-Tails chakra. And now, being even faster and stronger, is able to begin easily overwhelming Neji, kind of like how Lee did to Gaara at one point. There's even this super badass scene of Naruto forcing his hands through Neji's rotation and gripping him around the throat, holding him up and breaking it. He then gives Neji the same speech that he did in the original timeline. Neji would panic and begin trying to steal his opponent's chakra points again, but Naruto continues to force them open again and again. And when Naruto gets sick of this, he hits Neji up into the air with a hard uppercut. Neji lands flat on his back, knocked clean out, and Naruto is declared the winner. Meanwhile, Sasuke is in the stands, stunned and openly staring at Zabuza, who is loudly bracketing Kakashi about how he's a much better sensei. Look at what he had made of his worst student. Sasuke then begins to interrogate the swordsman while Shikamaru starts his match, which again goes the same. Now afterwards, Sasuke doesn't want to wait to make a dramatic entrance. Instead, he wants to show Naruto up, and as such, his match with Gaara goes about the same, though he's more motivated and aggressive. The invasion of the Leaf still starts with Naruto being put under a Genjutsu, Zabuza being the one to break him out of it this time, and roaring at him for falling for it in the first place. All while he, Kakashi, and Guy take on Sound and Sand Ninja in the stands, cleaving through them and surprisingly working very well together. Naruto, Shikamaru, Sakura, and Pakkun, as well as Shino, are given the same orders and run off after Sasuke and Gaara, with Kakashi being much more confident due to how strong Naruto had gotten. But that, Pulse Ultra fans, will be leaving this timeline off for now. Zabuza surviving has actually given Naruto some much better training in this part of the series. It's also given Kakashi a rival in a way, and it's maybe even opened Sasuke's eyes to a new route to power. But to find out what's going to happen next, you're going to have to tune in. And let me know if you guys want to see more of these. I've been waiting for a very long time to try Naruto What If, and now just seems like a really good time to do it. So yeah, just let me know if you guys like this. I would really appreciate it, and I would really like to do more of these. And as always, go beyond plus ultra, and believe it. We'll see you next time. Oh, and one more thing. I have to mention this now, but thank you guys so much. We recently hit 300 subscribers on the channel, and I'm so very proud and thankful for everything you've done for me, for every like, for every subscription, for every share, for every comment. I really, 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 from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. I appreciate you all, and I love you all. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more. And thanks for watching.